Hey guys, welcome to another episode of CarpFishing.Tips. Please like and follow us on Twitter and Facebook and on Instagram. And don't forget to give us a like or a comment below or subscribe to our YouTube channel if you find it useful. This week we're at funfishing at Ridgeflay here in Alberton, and this is where we were fishing. The orange circles are where we saw risers, and these are the conditions we were fishing with. As you can see, it was a pretty good day to be fishing. The forecast is high fishing potential. Even the ducks were getting in on the action. We had them visiting us a couple of times during the day. This is where we were fishing our various bowl dips. This one had almond millies and bread on it, as well as FX and devil's fork. On this one we had rose millies and blow train and tutti frutti millies with strawberry bowl dip and banjo. And then on this one we had garlic with also blow train and was it blow train? Yeah, that had a garlic float on it with some garlic bowl dip. We'll show you all the hook baits and the bowl dips a little bit later on in the video. Again, we try to go in for a morning session, about 4 hours in total. We got there around 7:30 or so, 7:15, and started setting up our rods. The weather was pretty nice. There were fish showing all over the place. While we were setting up, the fisherman to the right of us actually ended up catching 3 fish by the time we'd actually put the rods in the water. So he was doing really well. After those 3 fish, unfortunately, it slowed down quite a bit, and he only started to catch again around 10 o'clock. We decided to go in the morning again because we had a bit of a busy weekend. So we thought we'd try and get in some fishing in the morning, since we couldn't make it in the afternoon. We did have a couple of bites on the rods. So maybe about every hour we'd get a bit of a nibble on the line. Sometimes the line would fall, sometimes the bite would be a drop back bite. Other times it would just kind of go crazy and there'd still be nothing on the line. We did have one fish snag us in the little floating island thing that they have on these concrete structures in the dam. He snagged us up good. Geez, that fish really pulled the rod right round. The most crazy rod run we had, including the actual bite that we had before that. Sure, it was really crazy. So the fish were definitely active. They were bouncing around all over the place. Besides the gentleman to the right of us, there wasn't really anyone else catching fish. John, the bailiff at funfishing, came past and asked us how things were going. And he mentioned that the fishing in the afternoon has gotten really good. So if you do go fishing, specifically at funfishing, but it probably is the same at every dam, try go through in the afternoon, or at least stay through into the afternoon, probably closer to sunset, and you'll probably catch a lot more fish. We're planning to go for an afternoon session one of these days, and see what we manage to catch. It should be quite fun. What else did we try? Did we try anything else? The gentleman to the right of us that caught 3 fish, he was catching on millies, fire and ice, and he was using the house pellets, funfishing pellets that they sell at the... Oh, there you go. Well, there's the run for you. Yeah. It totally caught us off guard. We were shouting all kinds of expletives when that took off. Couldn't believe how quick it was. before we even realized what was going on, the rod was almost in the dam. Yeah, and the fish felt really huge. So one good thing about this little telescopic is it's so light that every fish you catch feels like a whale. But as per usual, it's a great little rod, and it always catches us a good couple of fish. This fish here specifically, where and why did I put the bait where I put it? I put it there because I took a walk around the side of the bank just a little bit, just to see what was going on, and I noticed some clouds around the bank. So I obviously knew that, hey, those are carp running around there. I should definitely throw a rod in. So I threw in the rod quite close to the margin, not on top of the concrete bank, but very, very close to it. And I left it there for a good half an hour, probably 45 minutes, and the fish ended up coming very, very easily and very quickly, funnily enough. Well, I don't actually know about quickly, but it was pretty much guaranteed, as much as fishing can be guaranteed. And there's a good little scrap. Unfortunately, the gentleman fishing to the right of my swim offered to come and help me land the fish. So I was battling a little bit with the fact that the fish had run through the line of the second rod and tangled up that line. So it was a bit of a difficult catch, and I was trying to pull him in a little bit faster than I normally would, just purely because I was thinking, well, try and get him in so that I can undo the mess he's created with the lines and all the rest of it. And fortunately enough, I could actually catch and release him right there at the side of the bank. I didn't even have to get my carp mat out. Just kept him there by the side. He was still quite energetic. It's the one problem with not playing the fish for long enough. You obviously get a more excited fish. The good thing about fishing with the barbs, what do they call it, pressed down, is that you have it's really easy to pull out the hook usually, as long as the fish hasn't twisted the hook into its mouth good and proper, and in this case the fish hadn't, and we managed to get him out really, really easily. Literally the hook fell out of his mouth as I was trying to get him out of the net. Well, as I was trying to get the hook out of the net, he flicked his head and the hook came right out. No problem, with a little bit of resistance. And then the fisherman next door was kind enough to take some photos from me. And this is the carp. It was 3.6 kilos with a net, so about 3 kilos net weight. Beautiful little common carp. Also a little catch for the day. As I said, I'll show you the hook baits and the bowl dips and all the rest of it. This was on the first rod. It's FX, devil's fork, almond millies, and some bread just turned into kind of half a dough and put on the hook. This was the middle rod, which was rose millies, strawberry millies, banjo, and strawberry syrup. And then on the little telescopic rod we had quattro, garlic float, and a blow train millies. And that's what actually ended up catching the fish. I think we caught it on the blow train and the tutti frutti millies. Yeah, that's what we caught it on, because the garlic float was on its own. We also caught it on the bottom hook. I'm going to try and give you guys as much information as I can when it comes to where and how and all the rest of it, because I don't know if it matters, but maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. It'll be interesting to see if over time we can figure out whether it's the position of the hook, or if it's just the what do they call it, or if it's the hook bait itself. that the fish are partial to, if that makes sense. I did tell you that the fisherman on the right of me, he was using the house pellets that are at funfishing, and he was using those to that to feed over the spots where he was fishing. I do think that besides him having great hook baits and great position and all the rest of it, I do think that the pellets did help. When I go back there again, I'm actually going to get a packet of the pellets and see if that gets me a bite faster, what actually happens. I have used them before. They do definitely seem to inspire the fish to actually bite a little bit easier. And I'm trying to remember if it really made that big a difference or not. But it's silly not to be taking every advantage that you can. I mean, that's what I say on the channel, you know, take as many advantages as you can. If you know that there's something that works on the... Oh, well, there you go. This was the second bite. This was where the fish got us snagged in the highland. As you saw, the bites were really aggressive, and the fish just took off with the rods. I mean, it was really crazy. It was a really weird day. But I suppose maybe the fishing accuracy of 93% or fishing efficiency of 93% and all the rest of it does actually mean something. If you're interested to know what time we caught that fish, we caught that fish at about 22:45 was when the picture was taken. So 9:22 a.m. It's not too bad. This second bite here was probably around 10 o'clock. I was busy hooking up the other. I was trying to rebait the rod to put it back where it was to see if we could get another fish, because I was going to leave in about half an hour, and I wanted to see if I could get another bite on the rods. Yeah, so that's it. You know, unfortunately, we had a few little niggly bites on the rods. We caught one, lost another, and that's just the way it goes. You know, that's fishing for you. Guys, thank you very much for watching again. As per usual, please subscribe and let us know in the comments what's your favorite hook bait and bowl combination. If you've got any tips for us that we should try out and that'll give us a quicker bite, please let us know. We've got a little bit of new tackle, we've got a new bite alarm, and we've got a new bait runner reel that we're busy testing out. That's on the middle rod, as you can see here, and we'll let you know how they go. So far so good, pretty smooth, pretty nice, but we'll do a video on a review of how they are, what we think of them in comparison to the other equipment we have. And guys, that's it from us here at CarpFishing.Tips. Have a great day, have a great weekend, and tight lines, guys.